All right. Thank you everyone for joining. So we finished the week uh, of our whole course. So let's have a quick recap of what should be done. Um, so you should manage to submit the task shelter, the week number one, in time before starting the cross check. Just a quick reminder that if you are not able to submit your work for verification, it means that you will not get any score for this home task because it will not be allowed to for the cross-check flow. Because as far as I remember, on the previous week, we made an exception for several tasks of students for the first time. But so just be sure that everything is made in time. Check the schedule, all the assignments, and even if you don't manage to complete uh, every requirement of the task, it's a good idea to submit it partially. So, along with this shelter task, a couple of assignments should also be completed. It means that several Code Wars katas should be completed along with the task regarding the JS basics. And now we're starting the
Let me add, not just completed, but as submit as well.
yeah, correct. All right, and now we're starting with the next week. So pay attention to the um, second part of the shelter task. Previously, you implemented the static markup of the main page. So the scope of the week number two is to implement the static markup of the paths page. Again, the Figma design screens are available by hitting the following link, and as well as for the first week, so please read carefully all the requirements that are mentioned under the week 2 section. And additionally, general requirements for the whole shelter website are also applied to the week 2. But before moving on, perhaps you seen the message in announcement that was just posted yet. It's regarding styling of the markups. Please, guys, don't copy the styles from the Figma. I know that Figma generates CSS styles, but in most cases, in vast majority of cases, uh, all the styles are made using absolute positioning. That's not correct, and in the real world scenarios, absolute positioning is not used in such cases as implementing grid-like layout, I would say. Um, if you look at the screen of the new page that is going to be implemented this week, um, I guess even if you don't use Flexbox or Grid, because we didn't cover this topic yet, you can freely use, let's say, inline block or any other means um to align the cards or all of the elements. So in case if the task that was submitted for cross check contains copy paste of the Figma CSS styles, you will get only 50% of the overall score. But you have the chance to fix all the styles for getting the full score. Uh, so yeah, that's just for you because I know that for someone markup is like is not a piece of cake, and but still it's worth spending time to. Okay. Along with the markup task about shelter, the cross check will be started, and to check the shelter week number 1, along with the requirements that are mentioned here, you can refer to the cross-check evaluation criteria. Just click on the week 1, and so here is the evaluation criteria for cross-checkers. And please be fair enough in verifying other students' work. So I believe in fair scores for everyone. Along with the shelter, a couple of other modules also are supposed to be covered during the current week, so pay attention to the following assignments. Again, as I mentioned before, we're not going to mention the tasks from the future weeks. They will be going to add to the RS app silently, I would say. Yeah, see, in case if you are going ahead and you're managed to complete everything in the current week, so you can check the schedule or the RS app, but I would say it's worth re-verifying your current assignments. I mean, to verify once again your implementation of the shelter, because for now, modules are pretty simple, I would say. But the future tasks will require a significant amount of time. But still, if you see that you can take some extra work, you can go ahead through the schedule to the next weeks. Okay, so I guess that's everything from my side. Guys, do you have something else to highlight?
We have the raised hand.
Okay. So go ahead with your questions. Esther.
Hello. Hello.
Hi.
I had the problems with colors and I copied from Figma. Would that be a problem?
Would be a problem if colors are different from designs. So you copy.
No. I took from colors from Figma.
So.
Let me clarify. Fonts, images, colors, it's absolutely okay to get from the Figma. But if you get indents, sizes, absolute position, and so on, it's a bad idea.
Understood. Thank you. If the markup does not pass the validation, it would not be submitted. If I understand correctly, am I right?
Well, that's not mentioned in the evaluation criteria. But it will be nice if the markup will pass the verification.
So it's not mandatory, like.
Yeah, but well, that would be great if you revalidate yourself.
Okay, and the last quick question: some students submit link to the deployed page, and some link to the whole repository. Which one is correct?
Well, it's preferable to submit the link to the deployed page. So
just link for the deployed page.
Yeah, the link to the deployed page. But if you see the link to the whole repository, so the work is also need to be verified, even if it didn't deploy.
Thank you so much for your answers.
Okay. Anything else? I see raised hand. So Dimitri, please go.
Hello. I have similar question. If I enter the cross-check and choose the link, and the link won't open, what happened? I put 0 or just check his GitHub and create link myself and then check the work.
So can you please expand on that? Didn't quite get.
What?
Could you please expand on what are you asking? Because possibly I didn't get.
Yes. I opened the link which was given me from the site, but it don't work. The links don't work. So what I do next?
You mean that you received the work from crosscheck which contains link and link is not working, right?
One of my friends, but he's ashamed to ask. So I'm asking him.
So in case if the link leads nowhere, perhaps
it says 4 of 100 for error.
yeah.
GitHub error. It's a GitHub
Yeah.
error.
So it's would be a good idea to, if it's possible, to contact the author of the work to ask to redeploy it, to fix the deployment, or to provide the link to the repository. Yeah, I believe that's no good because well, it's enforces the cross-checkers to do extra steps. But yeah, something could happen. Invalid link could also be a consequence of like trying to submit the cross-check later, just right before the deadline passes. So I would say if it's possible, just contact the author and well, if he provides the new link or just link to the repository, so you could start checking.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, guys, do you have questions so far?
Yes, I do. Will I be okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, hi. So again, I about the Figma, I just want to clarify the whole thing. So basically, if I will do a cross check and I see, some comments from Figma, like basically some leftovers. So would that be considered as a cheating, or because I'm not sure like how should I like evaluate the task? Because me myself, I sometimes just copied the thing, the code, so it would be easier for me to type stuff. So there's a margins and padding, all these commands. So I wouldn't have to write them myself, and I would just change them. So is that okay? Is that or is that considered as a cheating? Because some values I left because they fit, some I changed because obviously they don't fit, and some of the values I considered they should be included, like fonts, like line spacing, letter spacing, things like that. So is
Yeah, I
that
got the question. So basically you don't just compare the styles of the element from DevTools and from Figma. If the styles are identical, it means that the students copied the styles from the Figma. Yeah, I know that
Mhm.
the values, some of the properties could be similar. Yeah, I know. But the intention of lowering this score are applied to the styles that are just copy paste. So you can just compare with the Figma designs, expand the CSS section and see whether the styles are identical, or the the key criteria of saying that the styles were copied is applying the absolute positioning
Yes, yeah,
to
of course.
elements where it's well, it doesn't fit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. Okay. Yeah.
And
Thank you.
in addition, if you have a doubt, you may reach me in the private and I will help you to verify whether it copy paste or it's real styles from the student.
Mm-hmm. All right. Thank you.
Or me in private, yeah, because I see that well, let's just help Hannah with handling all the conversations. So you can choose anyone from the organizers to ask. Yeah, we'll try to help.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. So does it answer your question, Alex?
Yes. Yes. Thank you so much.
All right.
I
Well,
used only one position absolute. I hope it's not mistake. Only one error.
Just one place is not seems like a cheating.
Yes, thank you.
okay, Valerie, please unmute and ask something.
Hello, do you hear me?
Yep.
I have some question about Figma because I did it on my own sometimes, and sometimes I just copied, but not all. And it's problem.
That's not a problem. Some of the styles, let's say letter spacing or the font size, could be just copied from Figma. But like we mentioned before, the key, like how to say, the key factor of just stealing the styles from Figma is absolute positioning. So, but still, if cross-checkers have doubts whether the styles were written by themselves or just copied from Figma, so you can reach us and we will discuss. But it's okay because, yeah, some of the styles could be just copied, let's say the font size or font weight or something else. That's okay.
Figma is great helper. Is right, and I did some from Figma and some my own.
Still, in case if the total score will be lowered because of the styles, you can ask cross checkers with so why they think so. And because yeah, all the appellations of work are possible, and even if you fix the styles, uh, so you'll get the full score. But like I mentioned, just copying a portion of styles, it's okay, but not the whole style, not the whole style sheet from Figma.
Okay, thank you. I got it.
All right. Uh, franchise. I'm not sure. Mhm.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, François, it's called. I had a question. How much does it need to be pixel perfect when we are grading the students?
Not sure it's clearly mentioned in the requirements, but I would just highlight that during verification for the pixel perfect, while using the extension for verifying the markup,
Mhm.
The width positioning of elements should be identical, but there could be some mismatches of the fonts of letter spacing because it depends on whether you have required fonts or it also could be differs on other operating systems. So if fonts are slightly different, that's okay. But if other blocks have like different indents or margins or width, that's not quite good.
I checked quickly the students I have to check, and one of them, for example, all the headings they should be in the Georgia fonts family, but they are, I think, in the same Arial for every of them. Should I, for example, in this case, delete some points, or should I leave it correct?
Well, the Georgia is the free font, so it should be used even if it's specified in task requirements, and I believe so because I remember that yeah, so there is the link to the fonts and it should be applied. Yeah, I would say that in this case the points should be lowered because well, the correct font should be applied, but by differences in fonts, I mean mostly the letter spacing. Letter spacing or the size of the fonts could be slightly different by 1 or 2 pixels because other operating systems handle the fonts differently. So it could be different not only in operating system but in browsers as well. But still we recommend to use Chrome to perform the tasks and to perform task verification.
Okay, just one last question. I have a student who almost didn't write any CSS, so it's just like basically whole HTML structure with all the text. How should I grade this person? Should I give some points at least for all the HTML part, or should I just give a 0?
Well, I'm not sure, guys. Do you have any ideas?
From my point of view, considering this task was about styling, in case you receive only HTML, you may put 1 point and or give time to improve styles.
All right, I will try to ask him and we'll see. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have another question. So when we will do that cross check, so we'll have to use that Google a Pixel Perfect extension, right? And we have to put it on top of that page. So if there will be you know, inconsistencies in I mean, if let's say the texts or you know pictures, they will not match perfectly, is that considered as a mistake, or you know, some blurriness, if you know what I mean, is acceptable? Like how should I evaluate things like this? If do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
Like you
slight
have a blurry vision, you know, when you're drunk, had too much alcohol, and it like a little bit doubles. So is that acceptable, or it should be like, you know, perfect one-to-one?
I would say slight difference, slight mismatch is acceptable,
Okay. All
but
right.
should not be significant.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
If I'm not
Thank-
mistaken, as a rule, 3 pixels is okay. I mean, difference in 3 pixels is okay for Pixel Perfect.
All right. All right. So more than that, that would be considered as a so I'll have to take points for that, basically.
Yep.
All right. Okay. Cool. Thank you.
All right. Seems like
Seems we have no more question.
Yeah, in this case, I propose to wrap up the webinar. But wait, I see borders. So this, Dimitri, this for the requirements, right? differ by more than 20 pixels. Yeah, it's matches the previous point as the slight difference is acceptable. Okay, it seems like we don't have any more questions, so I propose to wrap up the webinar. Thank you, everyone. Have a good day and good luck. Have a good week.
Yeah, thank you. Take care.
Thank you. Have a good week.
Thank you. You too.